welcome back. Whether you're listening over on the podcast or watching here on YouTube, I'm really, really grateful to share these insights with you and that you trust me to hang out and learn a little bit from me and my experiences. One of the things I really wanted to talk about, it's something that has come up with me and my clients over. It's one of those things that people put off, especially women put off. We want to feel the best about ourselves. We want to feel like we're being represented well. It does make you feel really awkward just to be sitting there or standing there posed over and over and over again. But I've done 3 photo shoots for my business over the years. My first one was in 2018, and I've done them over the years and gotten so much life and so much value out of them. So I really wish I had done the first one sooner, because it did 2 things. One, it really legitimized my business. Having professional photos on your website, your social media, makes you just that much more leveled up. But the other thing that I found was that it made me feel really comfortable to promote my business, with that level of like, I feel good in these pictures. I feel like I look put together. I feel like I look professional. Anything that needed professional photos, my website, my social media, press releases, collaborations, guest podcasting, it all felt so much easier when I had that really professional photo to hand in. So I want to talk first a little bit about the lessons I learned in my photo shoots, and then I also want to show you visually some of those things and the difference between my different photo shoots. So let's talk about the lessons I've learned. The first one is to find a photographer you're really comfortable with. So first of all, shout out to my photographer. I've used her for all 3 of my shoots over the years. For the business, I've also had professional shoots for my wedding and for my senior photos in high school and other various things. But for my business, Jillian has done all of them. The reason you want someone you're really comfortable with is, there's a million of them, but one is you want to feel relaxed in front of the camera. And 2, you want to be comfortable saying exactly what you want. If you don't feel comfortable in a pose, if you want to change outfits really quick, if you have what we'll get to, but more of a shot list that you're trying to get through, you want to be comfortable to be the creative director of the shoot. Obviously, you're trusting them to get the right shots, but you need to be the creative director of the actual shoot so that the look, feel, tone, all of it is exactly what you're hoping for. So along those lines, one of the other lessons I learned, do your research. Research wherever feels comfortable for you. For me, that's usually Pinterest, YouTube, and I do research for a lot of these things we're going to talk about, but shot lists, props, tips, tricks, makeup, hairstyles I want to do, outfits I want to wear, all the things. Like, do your research both around the photographers you want to work with, that creative directory you're going to need to do to get what you want out of the shoot, and just plan ahead. So part of that, I want you to think about where you'll be using those images. Is this going to be predominantly social media? Is it going to be for a different type of PR? It's going to be on your website. How much white space do you need? What type of website design are you going for? Do they need to be horizontal? Do they need to be portrait? Think about your orientation. Think about your white space around you. Are you going to be layering text over these? Think about how all of those things. And then when you come to your photo shoot, come hella prepared. My first photo shoot, actually every photo shoot I've done prop shopping. Sometimes, first off, I'll shop my house, find the things that I already own that represent my brand. I wear a lot of burgundy, I wear a lot of gold. All my, stationery is already typically burgundy. So I'll shop my house, and then one of the ways that I shop quite a lot for my photo shoots is I will go and buy things that are returnable. I'll pose them in the shot so any stickers or anything aren't showing. But if I just need a really photogenic pen cup, but I don't actually use a pen cup on my desk, I'll buy one and return it. The other thing about that is there's a balance to be struck. You want to be authentic, but also you want it to be photogenic. So use what you can that's your own, but don't necessarily worry too much if you're going to buy a little bit to have that extra prettiness, right? I also, we're going to talk a lot about this, but coming hella prepared comes with a shot list. Every photo shoot I've done, and I'll show you this in a moment, I have a Pinterest board that I show the photos that I really love. I gotta have an in-depth Pinterest board, which I'll walk you through I walk you through all of my photo shoots. But my point is that if you go through Pinterest and go, oh, I love that photo. I love how she's posed there. I love what she's wearing there. It makes a world of difference for you to be able to hand over the tone of the shoot to your photographer and say, hey, have a look. This is what I'm thinking. So, and along those lines, outfits. I've gone a few different ways with outfits over the years. Usually, of course, I'm wearing burgundy. I'm also typically already kind of an anti-pattern person. I don't wear a lot of them, but finding things that you would naturally wear, that feel good, that fit you really well. If you need to go and see a personal stylist or something along those lines, do it, because you want to love the photos. We've all received photos of ourselves that we're like, oh, I'm not sharing those with anyone. You want to feel really freaking good in these pictures, right? Another lesson that I learned the hard way, which I'll show you, is to make sure the space is right. My first photo shoot, we did in a co-working space that later did become my co-working space. It's beautiful inside, but it's all very warm and wood, and it didn't quite fit right for my vibe, which is kind of vibrant and bright, with some burgundy to tone it down a little. My second photo shoot was really good, but it was in a park, which meant everything in my background was like vibrant green. We did it in the spring, so everything was like real bright, and green is nowhere in my brand colors. So the third shoot, we rented an Airbnb, got permission to do photography from the Airbnb owner, and it made a world of difference as far as the total vibe being really good for it. Things that I've learned for the day of the shoot. This is a little bit of a chunk, but day of the shoot, give yourself so much time. Give yourself buffer time. You never know how long something's going to take. You don't want to feel frazzled. You don't want to be running place to place. You don't want to be sweaty. You don't want your hair or makeup coming off. So set up lots of buffer. The day of my last photo shoot, I went and got my hair done. I spent a lot of time doing my own makeup, but like let myself do it really nicely. I went to the Airbnb early. I set up all of my outfits, props, books, like everything that I'd brought with me, which I'll show you, and made it look really nice. I had put a couple of drinkies in the fridge, and just really made it as best as I can. And then when my photographer arrived, I was ready to go. So, as we talked about, make sure you're feeling as close to $1 million as you can. You really want to feel like, hell yeah, I look amazing today, let's go. And I want that to be my hair, my makeup, my outfits, the music. Do something to get you feeling really centered, whether that be and whatever that vibe you want to go for. So whether that be a playlist, a really nice coffee, a really nice cocktail, doing some dancing, meditating, whatever floats your boat to get in the right headspace to have a lot of fun and enjoy this photo shoot. The last day of tip I want to give you is to get some B-roll. I've only done this in one photo shoot, well, technically two. So my first photo shoot, a friend came and helped me do my makeup, and she took a lot of background pictures and videos, and that was a lot of fun. My second photo shoot was just me and the photographer. Didn't really get a whole lot of background. The third photo shoot, I brought my tripod and just put it on various time lapses or recordings, at various stages of our photo shoot. And I had a lot of really good content from that. It was really useful for reels and things like that. So good. Use it. It's so good for storytelling. All right. So all of that are probably some of the biggest lessons that I've learned. I want to walk you now through my Pinterest board and my photos that I've gotten and show you the difference between my 3 photo shoots and the lessons I've learned. So let's hop over. So here is my Pinterest board. As you can see, being as organized as I am, it has a lot of subboards and things like that. But I have a few really valuable tutorials and resources I found on blogs and things that I've tagged here. I'll put this board in the show notes for you for your resources. But so first off, I have outfits. This has evolved. The other thing I should say is I treat this Pinterest board as sort of a working document. So you can see a few photos of outfits I like. There's only a couple in here. What I tend to do is go back to my own. I have another board on Pinterest about outfits I like, and I've got that broken down into seasons and things like that. So I'll go and kind of add some of those photos that are more relevant to my personal style at any given time and update this before a photo shoot. All right. So I've also got photos of me that I love. Some of these are from all of these almost are from my professional shoots. So they're examples of the photos that my photographer's taken that I love the most. You can see this one I loved so much is on here twice. So let's go ahead and remove that. But photos I love of myself, so you can see the vibe I really like of myself, which is, as you can tell, usually a little bit goofy. And then I've got flat lays that I like. So it's good. It's important to have photos of things that aren't just your face, and we'll talk about that a bit when I show you the difference between my shoots. But having flat lays, pictures of your hands, pictures from above, that kind of thing are really important. So I've got flat lays I like, poses I like. You can see, again, it really showcases that fun style I like, kind of a little bit silly, and a lot of hey, I work digitally, here's me in my laptop, right? But trying to keep that as varied and not necessarily as conventional as possible. So these are shots that I just loved. I've created this board so that my photographer knows what I'm up for. I also have this dream to eventually get all my team into a room and do a photo shoot. So these are the vibes that I want for that day when it finally happens. And that is my board. Keeps me grounded, centered, and on the same page as my photographer, most importantly. My photo shoot. So here's some of the B-roll I did at my last photo shoot. And you can just see this is on we'll play. There we go, on a bit of a time lapse. And you can just see all of the little things. And it just I could cut these into various clips and use them, and it was lovely. Lots of B-roll, was able to use this for lots of things. So my professional photos, this was my first photo shoot. Again, we did most of this in a co-working space. These top shots here, a few of them we also did in a local coffee shop that had just opened and was happy, very empty and very happy for us to come in. I did do some shopping. That one I already had this. I did some shopping, and you can see I did my first photo shoot in 2018. And so we were able to get these calendars and use them, and it was really lovely. But remember, Instagram and social media were very different. These types of posts were so cute back then and aren't really used anymore. But I got a lot of things. I had just had my branding done, but you can see very few of my props are in my brand colors. They've got the gold, but they've not really got the burgundy. My outfits, I did a little bit better. The shots my glasses at the time were really glaring. So that's another fun tip for you. If you wear glasses, make sure to get the anti-glare coat. So a lot of this photo shoot was done without my glasses. And while I'm not wearing them today, I actually don't really feel like myself without my glasses. So I learned that I wouldn't want to get the glare coatings on my next glasses and do my photo shoots with them. So these were all done in a coffee shop. I had shot lists. A lot of this worked out well, but you can see I just don't feel super comfortable. A lot of this, I just feel kind of posed awkward, a little bit too corporate as well, as much as they're done in kind of more fun places. A lot of the photos just feel a little stuffy to me. So this was my first shoot. This was my second shoot. This is the start. So these photos are actually done in my house, which I felt nice, but there's things about my house that we have really limited space. I lived in a terrace house in Belfast. We rented and I hated this wallpaper. So I felt like I had some limitations around that. But I got to show off, I love our dishware that we had in Belfast and things like that. But I hated some of the things around it. And then these photos were done in a park. And I loved the ability to bring my Brompton into the shot and have my favorite bag and all these things that really felt like me. Like I've had this scarf for years and years and years, and I was finally in my glasses, and I still wear this bracelet all the time. So it was so good to have some of those things, like the vibe of me and how I felt, getting to have a little bit sillier. I didn't get my hair professionally done for this one, but I made sure that I felt really nice in most of the other ways. This is my third shoot. We did this one just about a year ago in preparation for moving back to the US. I wanted to get one more photo shoot done with Jillian before I left. And what I love about this shoot, is we really focused on getting I felt like I had a lot of really good pictures of my face, a lot of really good pictures of me and my laptop. So we focused on getting a lot of pictures of my hands, a lot of pictures from behind. I got to wear this lovely hat that I got from a local maker in this area. We did of course, get some of my face, but less of them with like me and my laptop. Like I said, we rented an Airbnb, so everything was like, I made sure that I picked a place that almost everything was fairly neutral, black, white, etc. I owned most of the stuff. I bought this notebook, like I said, and returned it after this, but I owned that. I actually bought this cup for the photo shoot. I brought in my AeroPress and we did a bit of that, coffee making. I pretended to write in this notebook, but didn't write in it because I returned it. My AirPods, they have that case on it in real life. More pictures of my hands, and so these have come in so much handy, you don't even know. And then we came back as the coffee was done ready, and we kind of finished that. I brought my flask because you'll see later we have some pictures of me and whiskey, and so there's some whiskey in this flask, and she took some pictures of me in it, and I was telling all these pictures, I was telling a story about how I tend to sneak this flask into events, and I love that it's black and hides at the bottom of my bag. I was also brought one of my favorite mugs. I still use this mug all the time. Brought this one over from Belfast to the US and got to showcase that with my coffee. Put white tulips. I brought this vase from home. White tulips. Tulips are my favorite, so made sure that I just have that pop. And you can see some of these would be croppable or blurrable if we wanted. So if I didn't want what was in the background of that photo, we could handle that. But most of them are just really nice. Like you can see just bits of Belfast. You can see just bits of Belfast and the terrace houses and things back there, which I love. She's got these photos that I haven't actually found the right reason to use yet, but it shows me switching my lipstick. So I brought a few different outfits, which I'll show you. And I brought a few different accessories, and I just at one point switched my glasses and switched my lipstick and switched out my earrings and all of that. So I had just a bit more variety. So I went from a neutral color kind of to my burgundy, and she took photos of me doing that. So you can see I've already swapped outfits here. Like I think oh wait, there's one at the top here. So, oh yeah, so there's the first outfit. And this is a 90-minute shoot. 2, then I put on jeans, but kept the same rest of it. So there's 3, 4, different top there. And again, more photos of kind of me. This is a sauna in the background. So things that I talk about, things that I work with all the time. I sit on the floor a lot. These ones are in the kitchen, and they're some of my favorites, honestly, like of me and this bottle of Prosecco, and we're just having fun. Then I switched tops again, and switched glasses. This candle I ended up giving to my sister-in-law for a gift. I returned, I think, these coasters, or maybe I gave those to her too. And then I've got, my lipsticks on the cup, and I wear this clip all the time. And my face is in a bit of a weird pose there, but me working on the bed with a glass of whiskey is just very, very me. Okay. Other tips from this. This is my lead magnet. We took some photos of this. It's been my lead magnet for quite a long time. So photos of this to use for various promotions. And then I think one of my favorite tips, and I think I got this from Ashlyn Nelson, is to bring a box, bring some ribbon, and take some photos. So one of the things that I did back in Belfast is all my clients would have gotten this, congratulations, you have either signed up with me to make your business simple, or you have launched your new website. And so we took some photos of that, but I brought another box and we just took these pictures. And so every time I have a sale or a discount or a giveaway, I'm able to use these pictures, and they're really, really useful. All right. I brought some other props. My sister-in-law gave me this gorgeous bag, some books that were on my shelf. So they're really my books. And just got some nice kind of B-roll pictures. She got these fun pictures of me, confetti in there, and they're some of my favorites. And I think we missed the ones. All right. Thanks for bearing with me. I had to hunt for a little bit, but I also got this photo. You can see these are all the outfits I wore, but it also made for this nice aesthetic photo. I brought this bowl. There's my bag. One of the pairs of shoes I wore. This sits in my house. It's an actual picture. You can't really see. It's kind of glaring, but that's my favorite pub in Northern Ireland. And so bring as much of it of you into it as you can, but don't feel like you have to make your home or your space work for it, because sometimes it just doesn't. It's just practically, things don't always work out that way. I hope you came away with some tips, tricks, and resources from this. If you did, subscribe, share it with a friend. It really means the world. So have a great day.